With a monthly allowance of 90 USD, living a leisurely life in a fully equipped wooden house, enjoying the snow and skiing in the freezing winter, sunbathing and horseback riding on the vast, stretching beach. You might think this is the life of some affluent retiree, but no one would believe that this is the daily life of prisoners at Bastoy prison in Norway. So why is there such an imbalance when a life like this is a dream that many people have yet to achieve? Let's explore Bastoy prison, the prison dubbed the paradise for criminals in the video below. Although it is a country with one of the lowest crime rates in Europe, Norway is not exempt from the presence of inmates in many prisons built to fulfill the true function of law enforcement. However, among them, Bastoy is the most special prison. Even though it houses offenders with very serious charges, it is like a paradise in real life, even for ordinary people. Bastoy prison is located on Bastoy Island off the coast of Oslo, Norway, and is only about 2.4 kilometers from the mainland. Bastoy is not just a prison, but is considered a home for more than 100 inmates, with a wide range of offenses from rape to drug trafficking. To get here, there is only one way, which is by water. If you don't go, that's fine, but once you set foot on the island, it's hard to imagine that this is a prison because there are no electric fences, barbed wires, or sniffer dogs anywhere in this prison. While prisons in other places can be terrifying, almost like a hell on earth, Bastoy is considered a luxurious paradise that makes inmates not even want to leave. At first glance, many people might find it difficult to understand and feel angry. Why do those who should be punished get to enjoy such a wonderful life? Why do they have all the comforts, while countless people in society have to live in misery? But it's not just that. Prisoners living in Bastoy truly have a life like paradise and enjoy benefits that many people can only dream of. Not only is it considered one of the most humane prisons in the world, but it is also a place with breathtaking natural scenery, no different from vacationing at expensive resorts. Bastoy boasts a large beach where inmates can sunbathe in the summer, along with numerous ideal fishing spots, a sauna, and a few tennis courts. It's hard to believe such a prison exists in the world, because in the minds of many, prison is a complex place that no one wants to set foot in, as it is home to countless rough, brazen, and desperate criminals. If you are a fan of American movies, you are likely familiar with the violent scenes in prison between inmates, the escapes, and the dark, cramped spaces within the prison. However, Bastoy prison feels like a different world, where inmates live in small, cozy, red wooden houses that are fully furnished. Every 6 prisoners share one of these houses. Some other groups of prisoners live in the main house, or more precisely a white villa located on the hill. Inside, it resembles a student dormitory. Bastoy applies very few regulations. Everyone has their own room and shares a large kitchen space. In fact, they can even watch TV in their rooms or wear any clothes they want, whether it's jeans or t-shirts. Even the security staff do not wear uniforms. They live and coexist harmoniously under the same roof. The lives of the prisoners inside Bastoy prison are not as boring as many people might think. Everyone in Bastoy has a job. The prisoners wake up with a sense of self-discipline, and there are no alarm clocks. They start working from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on weekdays. Some work in the gardens, while others farm the fields. Some go to cut down trees and chop firewood. Others are assigned the task of herding the horses. Interestingly, inmates can move freely while working without having to wear handcuffs or leg irons. Security officers are sometimes present to supervise, but for the most part, they allow the prisoners to work independently. This prison is quite unique in that the kitchen work is also handled by the inmates. For breakfast and lunch, inmates must use their wages to buy ingredients from the store and cook at home. Only dinner is served together in the dining hall with many delicious dishes such as fish balls, shrimp, chicken, or salmon. Not only do they get to eat well and dress nicely, each prisoner also receives a salary for their daily work. They are paid 8 USD per day, along with a monthly allowance of 90 USD while incarcerated. Prisoners can save this money or use it to shop at a store on the island. The management aims to turn the prison into a small village capable of self-sufficiency. The reason Bastoy is called a green prison in Norway is that everyone will participate in classes and training courses to learn new skills before being released. In addition to working time, prisoners are allowed to go to school, church, library, or participate in recreational activities such as horseback riding, fishing, tennis, gym workouts, and swimming. Not only that, prisoners at Bastoy are allowed to communicate with their family and friends using the public telephone system on the island. Each prisoner can meet with a maximum of 3 relatives or friends per week. In particular, there is a private room available to help them fulfill their spousal emotional needs. To work at Bastoy prison, Guards must undergo 3 years of training in skills such as those of a social worker rather than simply being a rigid prison officer. And not only the prisoners, but the work of the security staff here is also very relaxed. Almost all of them go home at night, with only 5 people assigned to stay behind to supervise the inmates. Not all prisons in Norway operate in such an unusual manner as Bastoy prison, but because the law in Norway does not include life imprisonment or the death penalty. Therefore, the purpose of Bastoy prison is to create an environment where inmates can build self-esteem, encouraging them to change their mindset, character, and become responsible citizens in society. However, despite many differing opinions, it seems that Bastoy prison is on the right track by applying the principle of soft ties that bind tightly in this way. Most prisoners in Norwegian correctional facilities are rehabilitated very well, and their recidivism rate is only 16%, much lower than in other prisons in Europe. Only 16% of prisoners who leave here reoffend after being released for 2 years. However, not every inmate who is imprisoned can go to Bastoy prison. They must serve their time in a traditional prison and clearly show a desire to change. After that, prisoners must submit an application and undergo a review before being transferred to this prison on the island. However, after all, the Bastoy prison model remains a controversial subject. Many believe that treating inmates well is not a key factor influencing whether they will reoffend or not. However, the authorities at Bastoy persist with their approach. The goal of Bastoy is not punishment or revenge. The only punishment for the inmates is that they are stripped of their rights to be members of a free society. What do you think about this happiest prison in the world? Please leave your opinions below for me to know. Now, goodbye, and see you in the next videos.